Jefferson Airplane. Jefferson Airplane was an American rock band based in San Francisco, California, that became one of the pioneering bands of psychedelic rock. Formed in 1965, the group defined the San Francisco sound and was the first from the Bay Area to achieve international commercial success. They were headliners at the Monterey Pop Festival, 1967, Woodstock, 1969, Altamont Free Concert, 1969, and the first Isle of Wight Festival, 1968-1, in England. Their 1967 breakout album Surrealistic Pillow was one of the most significant recordings of the Summer of Love. Two songs from that album, Somebody to Love and White Rabbit, are among Rolling Stone's 500 greatest songs of all time. The October 1966 to February 1970 lineup of Jefferson Airplane, consisting of Marty Balin, vocals, Paul Kantner, guitar, vocals, Grace Slick, vocals, Jorma Kaukonen, lead guitar, vocals, Jack Cassidy bass, and Spencer Dryden, drums, was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1996. Marty Balin left the band in 1971. After 1972, Jefferson Airplane effectively split into two groups. Kaukonen and Cassidy moved on full-time to their own band, Hot Tuna. Slick, Kantner, and the remaining members of Jefferson Airplane recruited new members and regrouped as Jefferson Starship in 1974, with Marty Balin eventually joining them. Jefferson Airplane was presented with the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2016. In 1962, 20-year-old Marty Balin recorded two singles for Challenge Records, neither of which was successful. Balin then joined a folk group called the Town Criers from 1963 to 1964. After the Beatles-led British invasion of 1964, Balin was inspired by the success of the Byrds and Simon & Garfunkel, in merging folk with rock, to form a group in 1965 that would follow that lead. Balin also decided he wanted to open his own nightclub that would cater to fans of this new sound. With a group of investors, Balin purchased a former pizza parlor on Fillmore Street, which he converted to a music club, The Matrix, and began searching for members for his group. Balin met folk musician Paul Kantner while attending a hootenanny at another local club, The Drinking Gourd, and invited him to join in assembling the group. Kantner, a native San Franciscan, had started out performing on the Bay Area folk circuit in the early 1960s, alongside fellow folkies Jerry Garcia, David Crosby, and Janis Joplin. Kantner has cited folk groups like the Kingston Trio and the Weavers as strong early influences. He briefly moved to Los Angeles, California, in 1964 to work in a folk duo with future Airplane/Starship member David Freiberg, who subsequently joined Quicksilver Messenger Service. Balin and Kantner then recruited other musicians to form the house band at The Matrix. They hired bluegrass acoustic bassist Bob Harvey and former Marine Band drummer Jerry Pelican. Both Kantner and Balin wanted the group to have a female singer. After hearing female vocalist Signe Tolley Anderson at the Drinking Gourd, Balin invited her to be the group's co-lead singer. Anderson sang with the band for a year and performed on their first album before departing in October 1966 after the birth of her first child.